Hi students, this is Sister Mills. I'm making this screencast to help you get started on your love letter and to show you what the expectation for the love letter is for our class and how I will be grading your essay or your letter in this case. So you can access the writing assignment description. I've just accessed it here in the content tab, clicking on lesson 2, and this is a midweek assignment. This is for the first draft, but the first draft describes what the assignment should be like. So it's talking about writing a letter to something that you love. So right off the bat, this means this has to be an inanimate object. That means it cannot be a person, it cannot be an animal. This has to be something that is not living. Okay, so we've had students write love letters to ice cream, to books, to jewelry, to pop, or soda, whatever you call it. And so, really, this is something that you love. This is an exercise that isn't supposed to be super emotional. It's more to be focused on your writing skills. So go ahead and think of something that would be fun to write about, and the more you love it, the funner this essay is going to be. So this assignment description will give you some more details, and you can read through this on your own. But I wanted to mention the length requirement is 1 to 2 pages, okay? 250 words minimum. If you go into a Word document, at the bottom of the document, let's see if I can extend this down. So I just extended this down here. At the bottom of a Word document, you can see the words, the number of words in this document. And so that's super helpful when you're trying to meet that requirement. Your format should be double space, Times New Roman, 12-point font, 1-inch margins. Do not triple space between paragraphs. Indent the beginning of each paragraph and include and center a title for your essay. And I'm going to go over a few other elements that I like to see in essays. But first, let's take a look at the rubric. So this is a rubric for the love letter assignment. I am going to be using this rubric to grade the assignment. So each of these criteria are things you should be paying attention to and really striving to put into your love letter. So this first portion is about the essay focusing on one object, discussing the most significant qualities and expanding upon those in the paragraphs. Okay, so this has to do with you addressing the object to ice cream. I love you, ice cream. I love you because this and this and this. So it should be to that one object or thing, and it shouldn't diverge from talking to that object, as you would, write an ordinary love letter to a person, but this time it's to an object. The second section is about being organized and using transitions. And so that's going to help the flow go the reader as they're reading the essay. It's going to make the essay flow really well and help and help them understand what how you've organized it and make it a really cohesive essay. The third section is about the student addresses the object directly. Okay, I already mentioned that up here. So that's where this is at. This one up here is focusing on just that object. Okay, so it's not talking about hats and shoes. It's talking just two hats. And then obviously this, I kind of skipped over this, but discussing the most significant qualities and expanding on those in the paragraphs. Yeah, this should definitely be focused in on that object and describing that object. And then the last section is about length and formatting requirements, editing and grammar usage. And I try to stick with what we've learned so far in the course with those. And just so you know, for all the essays, in this section, when an essay has 3 errors, I take off 1 point. So for every 3 errors in your essay, it's going to take off 1 point in that section. And so I hope that you'll understand what I mean later on. So I wanted to show you this example super fast. This is an example of of an essay a student wrote. It's not perfect. This is a student I just had last semester. He gave me permission to show this to you guys. And so I just wanted to show you a few of the good things that he did and even show you what your graded essay is going to look like. So over here on the right is where I make comments. And then if there's ever an editing, if I ever edit something in the essay, there will be a gray line over here on the left, and you can go into that line and see where that edit was made, and it's going to be in red. So for instance, right here, you can see I added a comma right there because he had forgotten that. So just a few things that I want to point out here. Um, the the what is this called? Heading? I don't know what I'm can't remember what it's called. I think it's a heading. The heading is not necessary, but you can put it in if you want. But I wanted to show you this is how the heading on the left should be in the essay. It should have your name, my name, the class, and then the date. And the date should be formatted day, month, year without any punctuation. That's classic MLA formatting. So go ahead and start doing that now, and that'll make it easier when you get to your other college level courses. It has a great title. And then it goes in here, it's divided into paragraphs. He uses specific examples, and he's organized his paragraph. He's organized his essay according to paragraphs. And you can read through these. You can pause the video and read through those if you'd like. But and then, so these are just a few comments that I made for his essay. This is an exceptional essay. He did very well, and so I hope that you can look at this sample. I will provide this sample in an announcement so that you guys can take a look at this. And there's a couple other examples too that you can take a look at for examples on how to write your own, as well as please make sure you're paying attention to the rubric because this is what I grade from. I don't use anything else to grade. I just use the rubric to grade. And then once your essay is complete, I hope that you will go to the My Grades tab. And let me get here in viewing as student. As a student, when you click this grades tab, it'll take you to your grades, and it will also show you feedback from the instructor. So you can see here, this is some feedback that this student got on their first draft. I said, here's a screencast video, and then here's your essay. And so this student can go in and read this information and listen to this information to get their feedback on their essay to help them with future essays. And I like for students to use feedback as it should be called feed forward because we really want you to use this for future essays and future assignments. So if you have any questions, please be sure and let me know. But like I mentioned, please use the examples I gave you of the love letter as well as the rubric, and you should be golden.